How's it going, my sweet boys? It's your internet anime daddy, Allie here, and today we are playing Corpse Party. A day has passed since the events at Shimura and Jaku's South Apartments. This was to be a significant turning point for me, and Mochida might have been a part of it from the start, except that fate seemed to have other plans for him. Goodbye! Koan-sensei, I have a confession to make. I love you. I have something pressing I need to get to, so if you'll excuse me. No, you sit back down, Satoshi. Your score on that algebra quiz was garbage. Worthless. Like an owner training a puppy, Kuon gave him a strong glare and held up her index finger in reprimand. For the next hour, I'm going to give you a personal lecture, and you're going to listen. And then the next quiz will be a snap to pass. But aren't you an English teacher? Isn't algebra a little outside your field of expertise? Excuse me? You can be good at more than one subject. Urgh! Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. She seemed a little taken aback by that remark, puffing out her cheeks. That's so mature. But Miss Kuon, it's startling how like she and Miss Yui are. That's weird. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Bye. Looking both bemused and guilty, Mochida tried to get up and leave his seat in one swift motion, but he was quickly and easily caught, lifted up, and forcibly set back down. Whoa. MMA? waifu? Ha. She said, dame, which is like, no, don't. But instead, they're like, Miss Kuon was smiling. She was actually enjoying this. Whoa, dumb. Who or what am I dealing with here? A professional. Miss Kuon was only the slightest bit taller than Mochida. This did make her taller than the average, okay. But her arms were small and frail. Okay, that's so mean. There seemed to be no way she could possibly have lifted someone of his build. He's a stick boy, too. I don't understand. This whole situation was rather bewildering for him. Why are we going this much in depth about being picked up? And he made no attempt to hide his confusion. Now let's begin, shall we? Okay. Hi. Yes, sensei. He had no other option. Apparently, he was going to be studying algebra for the next hour. Come hell or high water. Enjoy! Meanwhile, I'm out eating cake at a coffee place. At a local cafe near the school, Kishinuma and I were sitting down to speak with Aiko Niwa, the informant who was attracted to pink boxes and red boxes. The informant who'd led my friends to me the previous night. How was that box treat you last night? Did you enjoy it? Well, why are you making that face? What's happening to you under this table? Are you alright? Does your stomach hurt? Like, why are you always making this face? I responded with a dismissive gesture while continuing to rub my abdomen with the other hand. What is happening to you? Oh God. Ever since the previous night, I've had this constant unbearable urge to pee. Have you peed yet, though? What the hell? You got baby teeth inside your bladder. Oh, she has a UTI. She doesn't have baby teeth in her bladder. She has a UTI. It's probably because she didn't pee and then she held it in too long and then peed a little and then, like, you know, irritated her parts. Who knows? I don't know. What the hell is wrong with me? I mean, I know I got really scared and I hyperventilated, but can this affect my body like this? Did it change something in me? My bladder feels like it's fit to burst. Like, okay, go pee. So where shall we begin? Maybe like tell her, hey, I'm having a haunted bladder syndrome. Can you please help me? Haunted bladder syndrome, affecting 1 out of 25 people. Aiko tilted her head and stared at me, looking me up and down, seemingly judging me in every mannerism, my every movement. I'll be watching you. It was making me feel really self-conscious. I covered my abdomen with both hands as if guarding it from her gaze. You got a haunted abdomen. Thank you very much for your help yesterday. Oh my God, you're pregnant with a demon baby. Grandma, why'd you do that? Think nothing of it. I only regret that your friends couldn't get to you sooner. Kisaragi Academy is quite large, so it took some time to track down Kishinuma and the others. Kishinuma and I stared at one another, still unsure how to feel about the strange new addition to our entourage. Excuse me? Oh, this is my entourage. Like, we don't know if you can join us yet. Just saying. I don't really care that you saved me. I don't know if we can add you. Ayumi Kishinuma, you two are the survivors from Heavenly Host Elementary, are you not? We pledged never to discuss Heavenly Host with anyone else, which we'd always assumed would be easy promise to keep. But now, casually and out of the blue, here we are. Why? How do you know about that? Well, you've been touched by the ever after. When people come into contact with the beyond, the color of their auras change to something otherworldly, something I can see. Both Kishinuma, I'm gonna mess your name up, my boy, I'm sorry, and I were speechless. I just sat there staring at my palm, subconsciously trying to see my aura, I guess. Aiko was smiling at us triumphantly. Aiko, you said you were an intelligence agent, was it? For the supernatural and your friend of Naho's? That's correct. I'm the one who tipped her off about Heavenly Host Elementary, in fact. Oh! The true source of the deaths and subsequent erasures that had turned our lives into a living nightmare was the Sachiko Ever After ritual posted on Naho's occult blog. I'd been a fan of Naho's for quite some time, so when I saw that, I knew I had to try it out with my friends from class 2 at 9. And as a result, half of those friends are gone now. Oopsie! I suppose you're aware that Naho was involved in supernatural investigations on behalf of one Mr. Kibiki. No, Kibiki-san. I am. And I know she hasn't been seen since posting information on Sachiko Ever After. Allie Ever After. Oh, get Rick Daddy Ever After. Well, my business is my business is of a similar nature. I gather data from spiritual hotspots and other supernatural locales. Locales? And sell that data to my clients for a fair profit. Girl! Not always money, mind you. Sometimes I'll do my dirty work in exchange for a particular spirit item that perks my interest, okay? It all depends on whom I'm dealing with, like that beautiful red box that I got to make sweet, sweet love with last night. It's entirely give and take. They want my information and I want their cash or their artifacts. Physically, Aiko was a very attractive young lady, but personality-wise, excuse me, I think she's very ojo-sama. The jury was still out. Why are you criticizing her? Her words were very calculated and emotionless. Her true intentions, a mystery. I mean, I think they're pretty obvious. One could call me an information dealer, but I prefer intelligence agent. And Naho was a good customer. My info on Heavenly Host proved to be her last purchase, however. Cries. At the time, Naho was single-mindedly excited about Mr. Kibiki's work. She believed he could qualify for some award with the information I found for her. ... Say, could you tell me, was Naho there in that other world you found yourselves trapped in? Naho died together with Mr. Kibiki. Oh, I kind of remember this. I looked down as I answered. Despite everything she'd done, the memory of Naho's passing was still very painful for me. Please show me. She'd become one of the Heavenly Host's lost souls and gone completely berserk in the end. I was the one who finished her off. Whoa! I see. I assumed as much. Aiko seemed completely unaffected by this revelation. Her tone remained even and her expression cold and distant. Honestly, I'd have about enough of her by this point. She was so devoid of empathy, it was almost offensive. I was genuinely starting to get pissed off. Well, she really is attracted to haunted objects. Like, she does not care about you. She cares about her red box, okay? Don't hate on her. And you're okay with that? I do feel sorry for her, don't get me wrong, but I had a strong feeling things would end this way. There's no point in lamenting that for which I was fully prepared. Okay. Cold-blooded. Kishinuma continued to stare intently at Aiko with his own brand of cold, emotionless eyes. You were just attracted to cold boys. Some cold boys. He was oddly quiet, though. His anger was palpable. I clenched my fist, clenched my fist. Clench my fist. What about this girl? I believe she performed the ritual alongside Naho. Did you see her there as well? I don't know her. Aiko showed us a photo of a girl named Sayaka. No, I can't say I've ever met her. She's very pretty, though. I'd waifu her. Aiko's expression was so unfaltering you could carve it in stone. I couldn't take it anymore. Just show her the red box. I had to say something. If you're calling Naho your customer, I don't think you can really say you were her friend. My voice was breaking with rage, but even if that hadn't been the case, my face must have read like a book. This icy bitch, whoa, may have had only one expression, but I sure didn't. She just called her an icy bitch. Do it to her face next time. Oh my, do you have something against that word? When I deal with my customers, I give them a guarantee of the utmost quality and dedicate myself to their satisfaction. It's an unbreakable bond of trust, like one would have for a partner. And that's not always something you can say about friendship, now is it? I had no idea what to say. It seemed like Aiko was used to this sort of thing. Her response felt carefully rehearsed, like a sales pitch. Finally, Kishinuma broke his silence. Hey, I don't want to thank you for helping us save Shinozaki yesterday. Really, but spreading dangerous... Oh, he says he does want to thank her. But spreading dangerous information just to pay the bills? How the hell can you sleep at night? Agreed. Understandable. Have a nice day. Hee, information is just that, information. It's harmless on its own, there's no good or bad. It's like a tool. It's up to the recipient how it's used. Anything can be harmful in the wrong hands after all. Why? That cup over there could be used to kill a man just as easily as a knife. True, just like a spoon. The hell it could? That's bullshit and you know it. No? Ayumi, do you agree? Aiko, I'm sorry, but I hate the way you think. I feel it's irresponsible. Oh. Her expression remained calm and collected overall, but her eyes blinked several times in rapid succession. It was the first outward sign of emotion we'd seen from her, eye blinking. Incredible. Well, now it seems I've come to be regarded as something of a villain here. I can't say this is new or unexpected, but it never ceases to be disheartening. Aiko quickly shrugged off her sudden outburst and was back to her usual icy self. It doesn't matter now anyways. We destroyed Heavenly Host. It's gone. An awkward tension filled the room, or at least our table. Let's get down to business then. There's a reason I sought you out. Something I wanted to discuss with you. Aiko produced a thick, hardbound folder, thick with 3 seals, from the light blue bag she'd brought with her. She opened it to reveal several documents of a questionable nature. Among them were what looked like to be a family tree, as well as numerous pages featuring black magic symbology or images that looked like tree branches. Black magic spell. Majitsu. Kuroi Majitsu. Black magic spell charts, and is that the Shinozaki family tree? You may find what I'm about to tell you a bit shocking. You may want to sit down, because you're about to stand up. Aiko was looking directly into my eyes now. Her gaze was fixed, intense, and unblinking. What Kishinuma said a moment ago is incorrect. What do you mean, Nani? Heavenly Host Elementary has not been destroyed. It still exists, even now. Kuma shock! Shock! Take a look at this. Aiko placed a black and white photo on the table. It wasn't the clearest of pictures, but there was no doubt that the location it depicted was Heavenly Host Elementary. How do we know how old this picture is, though? In the picture, a small girl could be seen standing in one of those all too familiar hallways, holding a hatchet in her right hand. Hey, I remember these hallways. That girl with the cute side ponytail, I remember she got, like, dragged and then, like, just, like, did it down the hallway, and, like, all of her organs, like, spilled out along the way, and then it was disgusting. It's Heavenly Host. Where did this come from? Yeah, how'd you get a photo? Oh, thoughtograph! Thoughtograph. But we have confirmation then it's a thoughtograph I've taken. I didn't have the power to produce a clear image, but this is the current state within Heavenly Host. How'd you create a thoughtograph? You're like, brain thoughtograph. I don't understand. What am I looking at? I can't wait to go in. I can't even describe what was going through my head at that moment. I felt like I was about to burst. Aiko, however, remained calm as ever while recounting her story. Let's start at the beginning. First, the red box from yesterday. After some time, I was able to open it, and I found these spirit items contained within. Is it baby teeth? The box I'd found on Makina's futon. Inside it were apparently two stones resembling magatama, comma-shaped ceremonial objects from Japanese antiquity. Also included in the box were several more roughly hewn stones, as well as a lining along the edges consisting of crumbled pieces of thin white paper. Unfortunately, most of the box contents were broken or damaged. This pair, however, were still fully intact. Oh, like my little save points, my little loady words. They looked almost like a demented version of yin and yang symbols, puzzle pieces that were clearly built to be slotted together. This looks so sci-fi. Aiko now held one stone in each hand and was motioning them toward one another as if to drive them that point home. Spirit items are, in the simplest terms, items which have been infused with the thoughts and feelings of the dead. Okay. Those who bear such objects will be visited by the spirits within them, or, at the very least, be forever privy to their memories and earthly laments. It's a wonderful thing. That's cool. I may not quite look like the part, but I'm actually quite an avid collector of spirit items. That's cool. I'm happy for you. Kishinuma and I briefly locked eyes again. We shared the same look of bewilderment, and Aiko's personality was much more twisted than either of us had initially perceived to be. I tried to get a fix on this little girl's thoughts, and in doing so, I heard a vengeful cry and saw an image of a girl with braided hair in an abandoned school building. My curiosity having been piqued, I took out this camera. She took a photo with her brain. This particular spirit item only allows me to produce images from the exact moment in time when the picture is taken. The past and future alike are beyond its reach. But I examined the photograph in greater detail, and a chill ran down my spine. There was absolutely no denying what it depicted. No! I was actually shaking. Without Sachiko Shinozaki, the school should have collapsed. It should have ceased to exist as soon as we escaped. I believe the collapse was halted, perhaps right on the brink even. Maybe because of the person to whom that voice I heard belongs. Aiko motioned towards the photo in my hand. It could be the girl in that picture. I wonder who she is. Oh. The answer was beginning to dawn on me. A sudden cold sensation exploded through my body, and I shuddered, as if trying to shake off the encroaching realization. Kusup! God damn, you really think that hellhole is still around? Kishinuma leaned forward. The conversation was clearly beginning to engage him a lot more than it had been. Heavenly Host Elementary, or rather, the dimensional space that took on the form of Heavenly Host Elementary fascinated me from the moment I introduced it to Naho. I began to research it independently and learned that its true identity is, well, something like a new nirvana, a netherworld, a hereafter, an otherworldly plane of death. Though ordinarily one tends to think of there being only this world and the next. A new nirvana? Can you bring him back? That's correct. You know about Yoshie Shinozaki, do you not? Yeah. And of her clinic, the Shinozaki Estate, wherein the grimoire known as the Book of Shadows was located? Yeah. Why? How could she know about that? A million thoughts, a million questions were running through my head. I was speechless. All I could do was sit there and hear her out. Whoa! Sage! It was like a muffled scream or a moan of agony. The sound you make when you want to make a sound. What does that mean? But are barely able to. Okay, I get you now. Oh, that one little more forceful, accompanied by thrashing. It caused the nearby table like to fall over and roll along the ground. Fame, what is happening to you? Please! Anata! Come now, you need to stay calm. This was Yoshie Shinozaki's clinic, and Yoshie herself was on top of her husband, holding him down with both of her hands. She continued her Shinto purification chant to prevent Seiji from biting off his own tongue. He had been gagged with a towel. Needless to say, he wasn't looking particularly well. Not far from where this was occurring, Sachiko stood aghast, trembling as she watched the proceedings with hesitant, sidelong glances. Izanagi no Okami, who visits the underworld and beholds our foul spirits, guide us to the cleansing waters of the Tachibana on the Odo no Ahagihara shores in the land of Tsukushi. Okay. Seiji, still collapsed on the floor, was clearly suffering. His body was bent into a most unnatural shape, and he was fervently clawing at his neck. I beseech thee, in the name of the divine virtues of gods gathered here. Hold on, we gotta do Sailor Moon. Jutsu! To wash away the sins we've committed and the impurities that dwell within our minds and bodies. Okay. Sachiko's father screamed through his gag, foam beginning to froth out from the edges. He was going into cyanosis. Oh, Jesus. Ghostly images of the Shinozaki woman from ages. Pest smiled down upon the event from the ceiling, laughing and mocking his suffering. Okay. We're still... Sorry. We're still... Some of the women had traditionally blackened teeth. Oh, that's creepy. Giving their smiles an unintentionally sinister edge. The atmosphere within the room was heavenly, as if the spirits occupied every corner. Oh, it was heavy. I was like, I wouldn't really consider that heavenly. It was heavy, as if spirits occupied every empty corner, dancing and flitting about freely and joyously. Whoa, you got this, Seiji Ganbate! Gwa! Seiji's body sharply bent and began convulsing. Oh my god. Come into this world, multitudis Okami of Haraido. Dear, stay with me, dear! My Oya no Mitama, I beg of you, please do not take him. Her great-grandmother, Seira, the head of the Shinozaki family, was among the black-teeth women laughing joyously at Seiji's suffering. Daddy! Daddy! Oh my god. Is he dead? His voice began to weaken and his convulsions began to lose strength. Finally, the last spark of his life left his body. His eyes rolled back into his head and all movement ceased to exist. R.I.P. Daddy Seiji. Daddy, why aren't you breathing? Oh god. Sachiko looked up, eyes glazed over with tears. Sob! Sob! Alright, my sweet boys. Thank you guys so much for playing with me. I will see you guys next time for an all-new episode of Corpse Party Drive. And until then, don't forget to subscribe to Slaytrix. We have other awesome gaming content on there that I know you sweet boys would enjoy. And also, leave a comment down below about the scariest anime or movie you've ever seen. I'd love to hear about guts, gore, and waifus. See you next time. Internet Anime Daddy Allie, signing out.